Alright, we've got a plan. That plan is green. Off we go. Art, hi. No, okay. Oh, I saw green. Time unlimited, that's strange, but okay. I'm not sure what kind of reactor this is. I mean, we've got fuel rods, so it sounds very nuclear reactor, but I'm not sure the ink interacts with that. Whatever, it's just silly nonsense to justify gameplay. I never noticed before now. That icon for art on the left side there, the right side and the bottom side were kind of cut off. Like the right side especially, but the bottom side too, like the white outline is not. It just gets cut off horizontally. Oh. So I probably shouldn't worry about painting stuff yet while I'm here. I need to purify the water is the idea, so... Which means that at one point in a moment I'll be able to just navigate freely here without being killed by ink. Oh, so these platforms I'm on are the fuel rod? It's interesting. So I need to worry about like being irradiated while I'm here or something. Anyways... Oh, I guess I can't grab that. Okay, so this stuff has not been purified yet, notably. I'll actually stay with the blue, because that might be the next color I need to do. There we go. I do kind of like, as a odd random note, I like that we're getting a sequence where one of the characters is interacting with us more frequently. I mean, we're still doing all the actual work, but also it's weird not getting a little animation cutscene after... Oh, hello. Sticking out of the ink there. But I like how, even though we're still doing all the actual work and art is not, she's actually guiding us through a process a bit more detailed, like, which I guess is, I don't know, feels more like we're working together almost. Instead of her just telling us, hey, do a thing. Go do this thing we want you to do. She's instructing us on how to do something in a way that actually makes sense. At least some degree. Alright, now everything should be purified, I imagine? Yeah. Why do we need to paint them in sequences? I'm not sure the logic there is, but... No, yeah, I'll just paint these things the way that I'm told to for the moment, and then we'll worry about getting any other stuff we missed in here afterwards. Think if there are any walls we missed or anything like that. I will say, not being able to touch the walls when I have to go close to it is a little annoying. But if any stage has justification for being a little bit annoying about you having to be really careful about what you can and can't touch, it's probably this one, so, and then one after, so I guess I'll take it. Transform engine somewhere in front of a tank depot. So not really much in the way of like resistance now that I'm in like the enemy stronghold. Okay. Having said that, some enemies actually appeared, but thank you. There's still... Guys, why are we still fighting the most basic enemies in the game? They're still using the weakest enemies on me in the penultimate stage, which is supposed to be the stronghold of the enemies. It feels a little silly. Like, if this game just feels like it's a little bit too kid gloves on me sometimes. Like, I don't expect it to be super difficult being, you know, probably for not a super old target demographic. It seems kind of like a family game in the sense of, like, for whoever. Maybe not quite kids, given the kind of dark humor it's got, but still. No, just ink pulled in here for no reason. Okay. Yeah, I do like how this is kind of a unique sequence like this. Also, they've got paint pots around now that can actually get in my way. That's amusing. No. Cool. What happened there was I wanted to lock onto that paint pot. Okay, get around there. I wanted to lock onto the paint pot. And now the music is dead. Oh, so I should probably just get a bit more extra paint here. And wait for this now. But I wanted to lock on, but I knew it wouldn't lock on to the right thing, so I tried to jump onto the wall directly, but the amount of momentum you have made you overshoot. If I was able to just rely on the game's targeting working right, I wouldn't have had to do that. Oh, interesting. Where's the... I'll have to run past for the blue this time. Interesting. There we go. Will that make the music a bit more interesting again? I still don't like how the... I think it makes sense for the music to take a bit of a hit if you take damage or something, but I don't like how the music entirely loses all of its intensity as soon as you take any damage. Because taking damage can really just mean, oops, I touched a wall. Well, any damage isn't right. As soon as you get inked, and touching a spike won't do anything. Ah! Why does that tend to happen during cutscenes? Thank you, camera, for giving a nice angle during this, actually. That's actually an unexpectedly helpful camera angle. Oh, thank you. Brought the music back. Alright, but now I've got more stuff to paint in here. Now we can leave. In theory, we could just not... So you do actually have to transform the reactor. That's interesting. Ah! Yeah, see, it's like cutscenes somehow make that happen, which is really strange, because it seems like a hardware issue, not a software issue. Why is the game going for cutscenes to make that happen? Anyways. I got a bit more stuff to paint now. I want to go down and grab you, for instance. Yeah, so all these little things down here I need to go grab. All those little platforms you can drop down onto. Thank you. Camera, you're not very good at this sometimes. The transition is not very good. The camera does point somewhere. The angle it switches to is really nice. I don't think it's a... Yeah, I can't paint that. But the way that... me not being able to see myself for a bit is a problem. Okay, I think that's everything down here. There's one Z jump I want to try real quick, just because... There are a bunch of Z jumps here. There's one I want to try... at the beginning, which I suspect is just going to take me back. This is a nice head jump, but still. So this thing just takes me back. Cool. And where's this take me then? Well, what was the point of that? What do these accomplish? Yeah, I thought one of these would bring me up here at least. Please, let me touch the wall! There we go. Okay. That's probably everything for this area. So off we go. Goodbye, music. Guys, please. The might of the Inked Army. It's just they're still throwing the most basic enemies at me in the last stage, guys. Come on. The fact that you threw a bit more of them in that little crowd doesn't make a difference. The tank depot's gonna be the same as like the other 4 I've already gone by. Come on. That would plague me. Come on, you gotta like throw actual enemies at me now, please. Where are the bikes? That's mean, you gotta... One guy's just standing on there. There we go. I don't have a lot of places to go to deal with this. Okay. There wasn't really a lot I could do there. But yeah, that guy was just hanging out somewhere where I couldn't attack him. Because I could have gone on the fire, I guess. I just would have taken damage. There we go. The guys respawned. And that one really smart enemy. Just taking advantage of the fact that they're inexplicably invincible against environmental hazards. Alright, there we go. Getting this area nice and clean. There's a tank. Hi, tank. Show yourself indeed. There's a ink shell flying at me as he said that. How many tanks? There's probably just gonna be like the one tank in the depot. Oh, there's another tank. Hi, tank. Just standing next to Biff. Or the other way around, really. Oh, I need to destroy the tanks first and then the problem. Okay, cool. Is there actually paint here? Oh, there is. Okay. The thing is, outside of the fact that it costs a lot of paint, the tanks aren't really a problem here. Also, the lack of music as I fight these major enemies is kind of awkward. Yeah, these tanks aren't actually difficult to deal with. And is there any consequence for getting hit by a tank other than just the usual, whoops, you're inky now? Does it somehow hit harder? Because otherwise it's just a slow-moving, slow-firing hazard that doesn't actually really do much. Again, it's just that it costs a lot of ink. paint, I mean, to deal with. You know, so should I be able to... Yeah, I'm in a situation where I need to be able to move, thank you. It leaves me vulnerable afterwards. That's notable. But when there are no other enemies to deal with, me being left vulnerable is not a problem. Alright, so I should probably deal with the landmark first. Jeez, it's really trying to not move towards the wall there. So I can get rid of these walls in their ink coverage. Final propaganda tower for only 30 points, jeez. Oh, it's on the other side? Next, I'm gonna need that extra time. That was a mean twist. They put a really expensive enemy in the way. Okay, anyways. Very good. That's probably not going to destroy the walls. You know, get rid of the ink on the walls. But you never really know what's going to do what, it feels like, with these monuments, so it's worth trying. I'm going to have to do that art mission to deal with this place or something. Art's going to ask me, of course, to paint all these helicopter things, not quite choppers or anything. I don't really know what they're supposed to be. Okay, there we go. I need a red though. Is that pink right there? I can't tell. Who's even firing at me? Oh. The tank for the tank depot. That's fair, I guess. I think it's kind of amusing they can hit the inkies. Anyways, I was trying to get around without spending any hit points. Of course, I might be in a bad spot now. But then again, like, these things never managed to hit me, so... Yeah, I'm just here now. Well, they're not really firing at me. Yeah, again, this doesn't feel like end game. It's just not a lot of enemies to deal with. Oh no. Gotta deal with one tank at a time. Among two of them. The game seems really convinced that these enemies, these elite inkies that are just color specific, are like a big deal to deal with, because it keeps giving me small numbers of them to deal with in place of like any other tougher enemy, and they're just not. They're not really a problem. If they don't give me more enemies of the tougher type simultaneously, and or just give me bikers to deal with ever, it's just not a problem dealing with enemies in this game. Like, the tanks can't even hit me at all. Like, you saw how I was cornered right next to a tank at one point, and it just didn't hit me. It barely even targeted me. You know, the elite inkies aren't really a problem, dude. They just walk around and make angry noises. Not... There you go. Easier than how to get yellow twice. There we go. Yeah, you'd think that their tank training grounds have had more tanks, so they only had the one depot. They could have at least had like 2 or something. So is that... Oh, it's just water. It's kind of hard to tell because it's the thing beneath it is really dark colored, so... Okay. Did that just get rid of all the elite pinkies entirely? Apparently. Oh, cool. Oh, I need to get those, billboards. So, are these walls gonna get totally cleaned up at some point? Yeah, now they are. Okay. Is the transformation what cleans up the walls? Because, like, these walls right here, I think, I'm hugging against right now, I thought those were inky the briefest moment ago. I don't like how I still keep hearing... Is that a bug of some sort? I keep hearing the engine noises. Whenever I'm in a place that has, or had, tanks, it feels like I just keep hearing the engine noises, even when there aren't any tanks there anymore, and I've dealt with the depot entirely. What? I was just thinking to myself, not saying anything just a second ago, oh, there probably aren't going to be any gradients here, since we're not, this isn't a residential area or anything. It's just a training ground for military and whatnot. So I didn't expect anyone to get released as I painted everything. Yeah, it messes with my head though, because it feels like I keep hearing a tank. It's just invisible around me as I'm running around this area that I know, at least before, was spawning tanks. And you'd think, you know, as a person playing a game with enemies that can attack you, paying attention to... Oh, that's all the regions. Paying attention to audio cues for enemies around you would be pretty important, so I feel inclined to pay attention to it. Alright. Art's been waiting for us to paint those helicopters for quite a while now. I think we should give her what she wants. Well, yeah, we can do another pass afterwards and get the walls and whatnot. Oh yeah, where is our blimp today? I haven't seen it anywhere. Also, why is your underground blimp in the air? I get stuck so often in this game. I really do. Thankfully, pressing B will usually help you get unstuck if you're stuck somewhere. But it is quite annoying. Oh. I'll have to recolor that in a second. That's the easiest one in the game, probably. And the annoying part is I need to go back and... get the right colors. And not accidentally repaint these in the process. Okay. And there's a red somewhere. Okay. And there we go. Very nice. Nice colors. Yeah, if you really want to absolutely maximize your score in this game, I guess it might be useful to make sure you use different colors when you're painting groups of things. I'm not sure it really ends up being worthwhile in practice, because it takes extra time to get multiple colors. I don't know how big of a bonus it really gives you, because I never pay attention to the point bonuses I get for that stuff. it's never really turned out to be necessary to pay attention to so far. Alright, is that everything in this area, though? Feels like it might be. Okay, I'll leave that for now, then. I'll assume that's everything. I think this might be the next area next. Last area next, I mean to say. We'll find out. Alright. See you then? We'll hope it is. We'll try.